Hello, all of our explorers in the UK, and welcome to the September 2020 UK IRA Explorer Call. I am the Explorer Community Manager, Janine Stanley, and with me today is Ryan Bishop, who is our Explorer Account Manager.
Hello, everyone. Hope everybody's doing great on this Thursday, and I hope all the UK folks are doing well.
Yeah, and we have our special guest today, Mr. Joshua Fluellen. And Joshua, I'm sorry, I don't have your full title here.
That's quite all right. Hey, everyone. Super excited to be back on the Explorer Call. I am an agent manager here at IRIS. So all the wonderful agents that you get to speak with, I get to manage a team called the Beanstalks. And
wow.
I love it.
Fun fact about me, I'm 6'7", and so that's why we're the Beanstalks, because we're
oh my gosh, I'm in the land of the giants. Ryan, how tall are you?
6'4".
Wow. How tall am I? 5 on a good day with the right shoes.
The question becomes, because I know it's going to be asked, so I got to ask it now. Do all agent managers get to pick their own team names?
Yeah.
We absolutely do get to pick our own team names. Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
That's wonderful. I love it.
Wow. So, see, you guys got info already that they didn't get last night. So
right? Yep.
We want to welcome everybody to the UK call. This is your third month of being with IRA full service in the UK. We hope you are enjoying I know, can you believe that? And it probably feels like folks have been with us, forever, and some of you have through the pilot program, and we appreciate that. Absolutely. So, what's going on in IRA land? Well, we have a couple pieces of news for you. Last night, Troy was on our call, and that call is actually up now in the podcast feed. So you can subscribe to IRAcast, AIRACAST, and that will be up in the podcast feed of your podcast player of choice. We also sent out an announcement to the email list and the Facebook group. So you can grab that and hear Troy's remarks. Basically, we are doing well in terms of the free 5-minute adjustment did what we hoped it would do. And we appreciate everybody subscribing. And one of the things that we saw was comments from people that mention the fact that they feel much better because now they are actually using those minutes that they purchased, where a lot of people would end up with spare minutes at the end of the month. Well, that's getting used up now. So you feel like you're getting what you pay for, which is great. Access location. So we have an offer that is celebrating access. Thanks to the 30th anniversary of the Americans with Disabilities Act, we're partying worldwide, and you all in the UK get to work with the London Transport, and you can have 20 minutes per hour free IRA when you use the London Transport stations as you're transferring trains and whatnot, or to plan a trip, which you can do from the comfort of your own home. And that is going to be good through the end of this year. And what will happen after that, you say? Well, after that, we take the statistics. We never use your raw data ever, or even your super processed data. We use analysis of your data. Because Joshua is one of our data people that actually works on some of that. So that's correct, right? It's the analysis of your data. Yeah. And we take that to London Transport and we say to them, hey, look at this. People have been able to use your service with IRA, and they have done it this many times. So if you are in London, please be sure to avail yourself of that. And we've got it, all around the world in different places, depending on what people voted for. And so let's see, what else do we have? I'm trying to remember things that we talked about last night, Ryan. I don't want to forget anything. Anything on your end that I'm forgetting? Oh, wait.
No, go ahead.
We do have next Friday, not tomorrow. But next Friday, the 25th, we continue our Afternoon at the Museum series. And this offer is good for you folks in the UK. I know you all would love your own museum series, and we will definitely look into that after the first of the year, because these museum episodes are hugely popular. But next Friday, it's the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum. And if you're kind of wondering, well, what were the Negro Leagues? Well, tune in and find out, because it is a fascinating story and some really, really interesting stuff that Stephanie and our agent are going to bring to you on Afternoon at the Museum. That takes place at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, which is 9 p.m. British Summer Time. So perfect kind of prime time viewing there. That will be live on YouTube. It will also be here on Zoom, and we'll be sending that info out on Monday for that particular call to get everybody ready to go. So today we are going to talk, and I'm sorry, Ryan, did you have anything else to add before I launch into our main topic?
I don't. I was going to say, I feel like there is something else that we're missing, but I don't.
I know. Somebody will remind us out there, I'm sure.
Yep.
And also we are using the Q&A. So if you have questions, things like that, you can put them over in the Q&A here, and we will get to them. We're also going to hopefully have a little bit of time for answers, actually live questions.
And then the YouTube chat as well. So if you're on YouTube with the several people that I see on there so far, definitely feel free to utilize that YouTube chat. We can read your questions out, or I can answer them there. So definitely feel free to utilize that as well. And
fabulous. Hey, and there is a London transport rider, Paul Clayton. Hey, Paul. And fantastic. So I want to get to my announcement first for you folks in the UK. We are working with RNIB, and we are trying to finalize an official announcement for that. But what we really need are stories from you. And what we would like to do is set up some Zoom interviews with you and then put those up on our YouTube channel. There'll be a short interview, basically, how are you using Aira? What are some of your favorite tasks? How do you use Aira with other apps that you happen to have, either for navigation, for reading, whatever? How does that all work for you? And so if you would like to take part in this effort, these will be maybe 10 to 15-minute interviews, and we will be doing them. We're not talking super professional video production or anything like that. We just want you in a nice, area to actually do your video. And what we will do then is put those up on our YouTube channel as part of our effort to increase our access partners in the UK, and also to put the word out about using Aira for our customers in the UK. So if you would like to take part in that, please send an email to support@aira.io. Let us know that you'd like to take part in the UK interviews, and we will get back with you, Ryan and I, for a time to go ahead and record you. We'll have an agent on board with us so they can check your Zoom background and your video and everything to make sure that you look your best, and then we will make you famous. So, again, support@aira.io for the UK interviews. We're going to also do this with our friends in Australia and New Zealand as well. And we'll make the times work. Don't worry. No problem there. So now to the meat of this afternoon, I guess it's tonight there, tonight's topic. Every so often, usually we try to do this 3 times a year or so, we come to you to talk about our terms of service. And of course, with anything, any app that you use, anything now, there are terms of service, but we wanted to make sure that you all understood what our terms of service say. And to elaborate on that, we have Joshua Fluellen with us. And Joshua, let's go to the terms of service and take a look. I don't know if Emily highlighted the ones that she did last night.
Absolutely, Janine. So it's important to be clear about our expectations between Explorer and agent interactions. Really, respect, trust, and privacy are the cornerstone, and Explorers are always the control of each and every one of our sessions. And When you agreed to be an IRA Explorer, you agreed to the following terms of service, which can be found at ira.io/TOS, or in the IRA app in the More tab. You can review them at your convenience there. So getting specific are general prohibitions. You agree that you will not use IRA in any manner that is an advertisement or endorsement of a product or service, is knowingly false or intended to mislead, confuse, or deceive others, promotes illegal or harmful activities or substances, is harassing, threatening, or insulting to others, including agents and other IRA users, violates privacy, publicity, moral, or any other propriety right or right of others, is defamatory, obscene, pornographic, vulgar, or offensive, or otherwise violates these terms. It's really important to highlight also that IRA does not tolerate any form of sexual harassment or discrimination of any kind, including race, ethnicity, gender, sexual orientation, religion, or any other protected category.
Great. So those sound pretty, oh, wow, that's a lot of legalese. The basics are respect. We would hope that our agents and our staff treat all of our customers with respect, and we would just ask that you extend the same to our agents when you interact with them. That's what this really boils down to. We know that people will have some questions about these terms of service. Joshua, let's talk a little bit about what might violate the terms and how would people be, because we do have some disciplinary action and we know you all are new, and so this may be a little bit, wow, they have that? Wow, people would merit that kind of action? Sometimes they do, and we want to kind of let you know what that is going in. So let's talk about what some of the first of all, the procedure if you violate the terms of service.
So violating the term of service can result in action that exists on a continuum or a scale. In some situations, a violation might warrant immediate termination of service with no chance to petition. This includes things such as sexual harassment of agents. Other misuses, such as improperly using an IRA access offer intentionally. You can receive an email from Emily that's essentially a cease notice. Please stop doing what you're doing. Emily Hill is IRA's Director of Customer Experience. In the middle ground of immediate termination and please stop doing what you're doing email is a suspension of service for a time period that's based upon multiple factors, including the type of violation, your history of violation, or other such things.
Okay, so, and these things we hope to always communicate very clearly with you, if there's something, and if there's something that you have a question about, is this activity permitted? What exactly does this promotion mean? What can I do with it? Please reach out to us. Reach out to our customer care team. Reach out also through support@ira.io, and we will be happy to discuss that with you. And if
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Janine, I did want to touch on a couple of those stories or things that might have been mentioned last evening.
Oh, great.
One aspect of our terms of service that sometimes just slips explorers' minds is IRA agents are oftentimes on with explorers when the need arises to use the bathroom, even if that is a personal bathroom in your home. And we like our explorers to know that our agents don't want to be in that bathroom with you while you are doing your business. And it's really important to remain conscious of those actions that are very natural and familiar to you, but you also now have a live individual on the phone with you. And so we ask that you either put yourself in privacy mode or end the call, I'll call right back in just a little bit of time to save our agents from those awkward experiences. That would be
Yes.
an example of a violation of our terms of service.
And if you think people don't do that, think again.
Think again.
It's very natural, however.
And it's just very easy to go about certain things in your life. Another example. You may call an IRA agent and have a quick thing to take care of, and in some way, shape, or form, you are in a state of undress. And for you, that's just, I'm taking care of business. But for the agent who's got a camera, and you may not know where you point that camera, it's important to remember that we always have a live video feed, and our agents are constantly checking that video feed so that they can provide you the visual information that you need. And so it's really important to ensure that you are covered when you call one of our IRA agents, to, again, save them from having to experience things that they really don't want to experience.
And you would be surprised at the many reflective surfaces that might be in the view of your camera, mirrors or otherwise. So just
that's a great point, Janine.
Just putting that out there. And now, if you certainly do need assistance with something in the restroom or in, your personal house, if you're in your medicine cabinet or something like that, we just ask that you be appropriately covered for that activity. Now, what you all may not know, although you may have probably read it here in the terms, but due to certain privacy laws in many of the United States, and I'm sure in other places as well, we are prohibited from conducting any IRA business in public restrooms. Now, someone had asked about the single-use family restrooms or accessible restrooms that there are in many places. I don't know, Joshua, about getting oriented to those places, how we deal with that. If you don't have any info, that's okay, because this one just came up today, but we're going to take a look at that for
Sure,
folks.
I'll share. As an agent manager, I field these questions from my agents all the time. And if you need to utilize a family restroom that is single use, not for any other individuals, and need assistance in that restroom doing something that doesn't include personal business or won't expose yourself, then an IRA agent is able to help you in those situations. But if there is ever the sense or possibility that there will be other individuals in that restroom, we'll need you to enter privacy mode before entering, or hang up and call back the agent once you've finished your business.
Great. Thank you. That definitely is good to know, because some of those places are very big and they have lots of amenities in there, changing tables and buttons sometimes to activate things. So it's good to know that we can get an orientation of those big single-use rooms. So, yay. Let's see. Where was I going next? I just completely derailed myself on that question. Oh, I know where I was over there. Yeah, you're right. No, I was actually going to something that we mentioned here, the privacy button. When you are in a call, there is a button on your screen that is the privacy button. You can double tap on that, and that will turn off the recording, or actually we'll turn off the recording as well, but it will turn off the video and audio for your agent. They'll be on hold. They are using your minutes during that time. So if you're only going to be, a minute or so at doing something, like using the restroom, and you want to come back to that same agent because maybe you were doing a complicated task, you can absolutely, invoke the privacy button, or you can hang up the call and then call back. You may not get the same agent. But Joshua, how long do those calls hold? How long can I have somebody in privacy mode?
You can have someone in privacy mode for as long as is necessary. You're in total control of putting that agent into privacy mode and then bringing that agent back out of privacy mode. It's all up to you about how important it is to have that same agent back. If you're in the middle of an airport and that agent is already super familiar with the map that that airport has, where your gate is, where you're in relation to that gate, then it might be important to have that same agent back. If you are somewhere less important, you're just at home, need to go to the bathroom, and you're reading a bit of mail, then sitting in privacy mode might not be how you want to utilize your minutes.
Gotcha. And also, in that vein, you can use privacy mode for other things besides, biological kinds of things. You can use it if you have maybe somebody coming into your office who is asking you something unrelated to the IRA call that you need to take care of, or if there is sensitive information that you're going to be dealing with for a minute or two, or if, say, a child that you do not want, to be involved in whatever, comes into the frame, as it were, you can use your privacy mode for that as well. So, great. Well, let's see, I feel like there's more that I'm missing here. Is there anything else about the terms of service and these kinds of things that we'd like folks to know about?
I don't have anything more on the terms of service. I would at some point love to talk about the explorers leaving comments and ratings at the end.
Yes. Let's talk about that, because you folks who are new to IRA, this is a very important thing. So Joshua, let's talk about why it's important to rate your calls and how that works.
So again, this falls squarely in part of my job as an agent manager. It is extremely important to understand how explorers are interacting with agents. And one of the best ways that explorers can convey that information is the ratings and comments that happen after a call. If a call was stellar, rating that good, or if there was something that wasn't quite right, rating it poor, and including some comments that help to distinguish why that was important. Us agent managers personally go through every single comment that gets left by an explorer. Anything that's marked poor, we pour over. And the things that are marked good, if you want that information, if you make that information clear in the comments, we love to pass that on to our agents, and the agents love to hear about how they're working with you. But it's vitally important in order to improve the service for you that you include those comments.
Mm-hmm. Now, what if I rate an agent poorly and I give, specific comments? Is that going to get back to the agent? Because that makes me really uncomfortable. Does that happen?
No, we don't ever share any poor comments with our agents. And to add, we also don't share any personal information from a comment with an agent. So if you were to leave a comment that said, wow, Alex was such a fantastic agent, they really did an excellent job describing a call from me, or describing a Christmas card that I had got, thank you so much, I love you, Ira. If I were to share that information, I would wipe out anything that would identify you as the person that agent was working with. And all that the agent would read is, wow, Agent Alex is a fantastic agent.
Yay. Awesome. And so that is good to know. And when we talk about using your data and your privacy, this is a really important deal, because rating the agents has to do with your privacy as well. We're maintaining your privacy, and we want you to know that. Now, regarding your calls, when it comes to privacy, of course, you have the ability to ask the agent to stop recording. One of the things, though, that can be problematic about that is that we don't really have a good way to settle a dispute, or if something goes wrong with the call and you're not getting the service that you feel you want. So we encourage you to, unless you really feel strongly about it, and then of course we will honor that, to keep your recordings on. And that way, just in case there is anything, and it's very rare that it happens, but if there is something that an agent is not doing correctly or to your expectation, we can actually take a look and discuss that with you objectively. So not that we're not going to be objective otherwise, but we certainly like having that physical proof there to see the circumstances of the interaction. So anything else, Joshua, on that vein?
Nothing more really on that vein. A lot of my time is spent watching agent videos, not only agent videos for the calls that are marked good, the calls that are marked poor especially, but also just those ordinary calls, getting to know how my agents are doing and how they can better serve all of you.
Great, great. Now, occasionally this happens where you really feel that you want minutes credited back to you. Doesn't happen very often, but you maybe have had an experience or something happened with the technology on the call and you feel as if you need those minutes credited back to you. How does that process work? Can I just tell my agent, no, you give me those minutes back now? Or you call another agent and say, I just got off a call and I want my minutes back. How does that process work? This is going to be a combination Joshua Ryan question.
Yeah, I mean,
Ryan's the money man.
I'd be happy to start that one, and then if Joshua has anything to add. I do want to first let everybody know that agents do not have the ability to credit any minutes in IRA at all. So whether that be any agent that you talk to on the dash. So in order to get minutes credited back to you for any call that you may have had, the first thing you're going to need to do is call our customer care line or send our customer care team an email. Now, I should mention that because it was asked yesterday, so I'll just layer it here. Calling our customer care line does not take any of your IRA plan minutes. So when you give our customer care team a call, you're either going to speak to our billing department or our information department. And you'll want to give them as much information as you possibly can about the session. So roughly the day and time. If you don't remember exactly what time that session happened at during the day, that's completely okay. We can find out what time that happened at. And if you don't remember the agent you spoke with, that's okay too. But really, we would like as much detail as you can give us as to your side of what happened in that session, what you feel went wrong, and so that way we can best open up that investigation. What we do from there is we review all of the details. So we'll go through that recording if you do have it available. Again, it is totally optional to have that recording. And you do have the ability to disable recording. The only thing that IRA does ever use recordings for is for quality assurance. So when we do have those recordings, we are able to look at the recording of that session and see what happened and go through that. Now, when we make that determination, you will be contacted and let know of the determination of whether or not those minutes will get credited back to you, and if so, how many of them. And you will also, I guess I should back up here and say, when you submit the information to us through our customer care line, you're going to get a case number. And that case number will allow you to track that, I'll call it a claim, through to the end. So anytime you call our customer care team back afterward, you can give them the number and they'll be able to look up and get you any sort of information on that. So it is really important to know, because I said a lot, so that agents cannot credit any minutes and that you would need to go through customer care and to give them as much information as possible. And if you don't remember all the specifics, it's completely okay. And they will get back to you with that investigation, I would say, relatively quickly once the matter has been investigated and the session has been looked at.
Great. Thanks, Ryan. Another thing to know about is the power of the IRA app. There's a lot of information in the IRA app. And Ryan mentioned knowing when your call took place and who the agent was. You can find that info in the usage tab. Under that tab, under call history, you will see the calls you made, the amount of time you were on the call. And if you did not rate the call at the time or leave a comment, you can go back in and do that at that place in the app. Now, Joshua, you also mentioned that one of the ways that people can violate the terms of service over time is intentionally misusing an access offer. I wanted to point out something for everybody in the app. If you go to the Access a Free Offer button on the home screen, you can see all of the offers that we have. Double tapping on any of those offers will give you a screen that explains exactly what the offer is for. So if you have any questions about that, certainly ask your agent, but your agent will also let you know if that's not in the offer and not able to be used for the offer. So if you have any questions,
I'll throw into there as well. On that screen that Janine is speaking about, there is also a button on some of our access offers that give examples of acceptable uses of access offers.
Yep.
So when you click on that button, it will give you some examples of how you can best use the access offer and what the offer can be used for.
Yeah. Great. Well, we also had a little bit of fun last night, and we looked at things from Agent Land. So I don't know, Joshua, if Emily gave you some fun things from Agent Land from the UK to look at, or if you have any of your own that you've collected.
I learned a lot from Joshua already about Agent Land, I'll tell you.
Yeah, I was going to say. So I would imagine that agents are having a great time with the UK callers.
Emily did not share anything with me, but I did come from being the overnight analyst. And I got to spend a lot of time with UK explorers during our pilot. And let me tell you, it is just a fantastic time getting to work with explorers from around the world. It's like, as an agent, getting transported on vacation to another part of the world. And when you are someone living in the United States and all of a sudden you're in downtown London or up in Leeds, it's just a fantastic experience getting to be somewhere new. And a lot of our agents really do describe getting to work with explorers like getting to work with UK explorers like getting to go on vacation. I know that some of my fondest calls are from navigating the London Underground. And
oh boy.
It is quite a journey. It's definitely quite a journey. But when you get to walk away from it being like, wow, this major transportation system, like I totally just worked with this explorer to get through here.
It's the world's oldest subway system, right?
Exactly. It feels like such an accomplishment. Our agents really enjoy getting to teleport to the UK. Also, they love your accents. Absolutely love your accents.
We're hopeless
so
Americans.
We are dreaming of from where we came from, and so it is a fantastic time offering our service in the UK.
Awesome.
Joshua, I don't get to do this very often because we don't have very many agents that are just free doing the Explorer call here. But as some of the explorers know, I do some of the exhibits for IRA sometimes, and I always ask every agent that I have doing any sort of live thing for us, whether that be in an exhibit hall or whether it be just in general. So I have to know, out of all the times that you've taken a call at IRA, and out of all of the experiences you've had, what is the most memorable call or experience that you've had in IRA? And what would that be? What is that memorable?
Hands down, the most memorable call was reading a pregnancy test and getting to share in the joy and excitement of seeing two explorers just so excited by the fact that they were going to get to welcome a new baby into this world. And so that definitely
that's great.
That definitely stands out.
That's the best one
as
so
my
far,
favorite calls.
Yep, I was going to say, oh my gosh.
We've asked so many people this, but that's
awesome.
the best.
That's awesome. And the funny thing is that we very possibly have now seen that child in an IRA call, so that's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Well, Ryan, any questions from folks out there that are written down? We'll get the written ones first here, and then we will go. And things to be careful of. Actually, Dean had made a remark prior to the call about also if you are, taking a look at your IRA usage and all of that, to also keep in mind that you need to keep tabs on who is taking care of the payment for your account to make sure that that is all squared away and that that person is doing what you need them to do to keep that account going for you. So, Dean, I hope I have gotten that correct for you.
And I'll just throw that out there since we got on the topic.
Let's talk payment.
Money
guy.
Guys, please don't be afraid to give our billing team a call. I mean, it's much easier and I'll just bring it up since it was said. It's much easier to work with a subscription, on that if you can't get a month or don't have that means to right now with the time being or whatever not, we're able to work with you on that. So give us a call and we can definitely, work with you on that. So I would, just throw that out there for you guys. Always feel free to give Kara a call for anything, whether that be terms of service questions. We have a dedicated information department who can provide you really any information that you need in regards to access offers, terms of service. The list goes on. There's so many things. And I will get that UK number for you guys and post it here so that way you guys can give us a call. Because, and I believe we had another question yesterday, since we're on the customer care aspect of it too, within regards to our phone tree. And so I will briefly go over that too for you guys.
Yeah.
So when you give customer care a call, previously you may have remembered that when you gave us a call, you could sit on hold for a little bit while you waited for somebody in the department that you were waiting for to pick up the phone. And what we learned was nobody likes to get put on hold. I mean, really, I think we can all say it. Like, we've all called companies, and whether it be for the annoying hold music or for the, whatever, you don't like to sit on hold. And so what you're going to experience now, especially when you call some of our busier departments, is that you're going to be on hold for maybe, I believe it's like 1 minute and 30 seconds. And then you're going to get a prompt where you're going to be able to request a callback. What this will do is it will allow you to not lose your place in line, and it will let you get a callback on the number that you provide. Now, if you are in the UK and you are calling the UK number or even the US number, whatever you prefer, and you schedule a callback and we call you back, that call is not charged to you. So when we're calling you, you are not charged for that. But let's say you decide now, I'd rather hold on. I don't want to do a callback. That's okay. What will happen now is after a few minutes, that call is going to get transferred to the first available customer care agent. It might not be in the department you're looking to get to right away, but it will be somebody who can either answer your question or get you hooked up to somebody who exactly can do that. And so what we wanted to do was make sure that you can get your questions answered and make sure that you have the ability to get to who you need to and get that need in, so that way the best person can get back to you and get you the answer that you need. And so I just wanted to, let everybody here know that as well. We value your time, and we really want to make sure that you get all those answers to any question that you may have. So I just wanted to throw that out there for everybody as well, so that way everybody is aware. And I'm happy to answer any further questions that you guys may have within regards to that. We don't have any text questions. So
All right. Well, you know what? Let's open the phones, as they say in radio. And if you have a question, raise up your hand, and we will be happy to talk.
Oh, so we do have a question on YouTube, actually. I didn't see the question.
Oh, great.
Quick question regarding the plans. Are the prices $29, $99, and $199? And are you willing to be flexible in regards to prices, or do you have to call billing to discuss that? The prices are set. So if you are looking to get a plan, it is the $29, $99, $199. That is in US dollars. So in the currencies, how are you guys going to put me on the spot?
I know. I was going to say, let me see him do this conversion quickly. He can, by the way. Not a problem.
So,
we do have all this, folks. The prices in your currency of.
Yeah. So, and I'll say this. To the other part of the question, the pricing is set. So, but there are different agencies that can possibly help pay for your IRA subscription. So if you do have, like, let's say if you're in Australia, we can work with the NDIS. If you're in the UK, there are people that we can work with and make sure that you can get assistance to get help with that plan paying for. I definitely recommend giving a call to our customer care, who can definitely help you out with that. And they can work with you to help you figure out the best person to pay for your plan.
Yeah.
So
and we are working, for those who are interested, we are working with Access to Work in the UK. Those discussions are starting with the help of RNIB and some other folks. And so that may be a very big possibility soon for everyone. Now, Paul asked a question about Gatwick Airport. Honestly, Paul, if it's showing in the app, it probably still is. I would have to check to be sure about that being an access location. Joshua, do you know about that?
I believe it is.
I believe it is still, yes.
Yes, I believe it is. So is Heathrow as well.
Yeah. Yep. Heathrow is back online. Actually, Heathrow was the one that was out for a bit. Gatwick was always on board, I think.
Correct.
But both of them are now online. So please, if you...
Janine put me on the spot.
He's got it now.
So for in the UK, your intro plan is going to be £24. Your standard plan is going to be £79. And your advanced plan is going to be £159. And if you want the rest of the pricing and all the other currencies, because if you're like me, you're going to forget all of them, definitely feel free to look in your IRA app. You can find these if you don't currently have a plan. By signing up for a new plan, you could see all of our pricing, or you can definitely give our customer care team a call.
Yep. So it will reflect the currency in the country in which you are in, I believe, right, for the app?
Correct. Yep.
And so you will be able to see that for the folks in Australia and New Zealand who might be on this call. Awesome. Great. All right.
So
now let's get to let's get to a live person now.
Well, we had hands raised. You guys
didn't
have to put your hands down. Oh, God.
Raise them up again. Raise them up again. And to...
All right, so we have Dean Mills, who's going to be our first person today. How you doing today, Dean?
I'm good. Sorry, I actually raised a hand and thingy because I got a phone call. I had to answer it real quick. That's why.
No worries.
That's why I raised a hand. Well, actually, I with the payment issue from before. Basically, what I was saying was actually not really quite. I think I kind of may have, obviously with typing, obviously didn't come out as well. But I had an issue, and I don't mind saying this. I had an issue with someone paid for my service, but they actually charged it back. Now it was an issue between me and that person. But just people to be really careful of that. Ryan, I think, dealt with that with me. Mm-hmm. I think you remember it, Ryan,
yep.
do you?
Yep.
I think.
Yep.
It just means you're really careful. If someone pays for your service, make sure that they have the intention of paying for it, because this person actually owed me money at the time, which is weird. I'm not going to mention names. But they charge it back, and the thing is, it can create some major issues. The second question as well, just so you got them both together, is if someone, for example, say with a gift card sends you, for example, obviously ours is pounds, but if someone sends you US dollars by mistake, what happens? Does it convert that currency, or does it cause a mess?
That is a great question.
Man, you guys are putting me on the spot today.
Yeah.
So the person who buys the gift card for you would have to buy it in the currency that your subscription is. So if they were to buy it in a different currency, it does mess up things. So if your plan is getting paid for in GBP, the gift card would have to be bought in GBP.
Yes, like mine, for example, is dollars. Like even though mine's a UK number, it's dollars, which confuses everybody. And it's just my card works out better that way because the card I'm using, and it will obviously confuse people.
Yeah. So for you, they'd have to buy it in dollars.
Yeah.
And not GBP.
Takes away that surprise factor because you have to let them know. But,
I do.
Yes.
Correct. Yeah. Good question though. But yeah, so it is important for gift cards. You have to buy it in the currency that the person's IRA plan is. So yes, Dean, in your case, they would have to buy it in.
Can you rescue it though? If someone makes a mistake though, can you rescue it, or do you have to refund it?
We can always make adjustments. So if we need to, so that can be fixed on the care side if people just give us a call in customer care. I will say that only customer care can make those changes. So if you call an agent, they will not be able to make any billing changes. So you guys will have to call customer care, but they will be able to get that adjusted for you.
And I believe, if I'm computing this correctly, that we have live customer care for you between 2 p.m. and 2 a.m. in the UK. I think I've done that correctly.
That's fine for British summertime, Ginny.
Yes, for British summertime, that's correct.
Can I put you on the spot and say what time is it after British summertime?
I don't know. British Standard Time? I have no idea. I just know it goes back an hour, right? Or something like that.
Hey, you put me on the spot. I had to put you on the spot.
Just thought of the typing the way the phone number showed up on the app as well, because sometimes you put it as +44800, which kind of makes sense, but sometimes, like the way the phone read it, will say. So, for example, say if someone called from here, they'll put 0800.
Yep. Oh, that's
so
interesting.
look, because like for example, it's a bit like when you're one in the US. So for example, here you put 0800, you wouldn't put +44800 because. So if you're tapping at an app, sometimes it will just mess the whole thing up.
Oh, interesting. Thank you for that, Dean, because I did not know that, and now I do. And it's the same in New Zealand. You actually have to put the 0 with the New Zealand one as well. So good to know.
Because that was brought up, I do have.
You've got the number,
and I'll go ahead and read it out to you guys now for customer care. And then if anybody else has any questions, don't hesitate to either type those in or give us a hand raise, and we will be happy.
I'm just going to hold up my little Braille card that I have with all of the numbers on it.
Oh, see, you're cheating now.
That is right here in my little side drawer where I can reach it quickly.
That's really brilliant and a very smart idea that I have not done yet. So I'll give you that one.
Yeah.
All right. So if you're in the UK, you can give our customer care a call by calling +44. Well, you don't need that. So
or 0.
800-046-5668.
All right.
And that is our UK number.
Yes. Or you can email support@ira.io any time of day or night, and we will get that.
Correct.
Awesome. All right. Who do we have next?
We have a person on Q&A.
All right. Awesome. Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Take advantage.
So Christo asks, and I hope I'm saying your name right. As a blind couple, can we use the same account, but do we use separate phones? So, the answer to this question is that you can use the same account with 2 separate phones by taking advantage of our minute share. So each account that is not intro. So you have to be on either the standard plan or the advanced plan, has the ability to share minutes with 2 other people. And so you can take the other person's phone number, designate who wants to pay for it first, because only one person can pay for an account. And then whoever is that primary can invite say, the other person in the household to share minutes, you can do that via calling customer care, or you can do that in the More tab of the Aira app, and you can share minutes with that other person. Now, what that does, and it really does help you out. So what that does is it keeps your profiles separate. So what that means is that if you call in, the other person that's on your account sharing minutes can also call in from somewhere else, because it is completely separate. What that also
use
means,
the service at the same time, in other words.
What that also means is all of your data is also separate. So you cannot look up the other person's photos, for example. It's important to know that when doing minute share, all data is completely separated out. Now, the only thing that the person who owns the account can see is how many minutes the other person is using as part of the subscription. But they cannot see any specifics about those calls, when they were done, who they spoke to, or anything like that. They can just see that you've used either 80 minutes of that 120 or something like that. And we can definitely get into minute share more if you have any further questions about that. But minute share is definitely a very powerful option to be able to use the same account as a couple. And
It's also a good way if you have two phones, maybe a work phone and a home phone, and
absolutely,
want to do it that way. That is another good way to set up two phones for the same account. And for a couple, the minute share is perfect. Awesome. All right. Now, I see Paul had a question here about the app being updated. Do you see that one, Ryan?
it's in the chat.
Yeah, it is over in the chat. I can't read Q&A from here for some reason, but...
All right, Paul asks, when will the app be updated to reflect local numbers from the participating countries? That is a very good question, Paul, and the only question hopefully here today that I am going to have to say, unless Janine knows the answer to it, that I'm going to have to get back to.
I know it is on the roadmap, but I don't know exactly when it will be updated. We have been working really hard on the sound issues that come up at the beginnings of your calls that have been plaguing us for a while. We think we might have that finally figured out. And also some of the issues when you hang up a call. Those got resolved in this last update, thankfully. And but as far as the local numbers converting, that's on the roadmap, but I don't know when it will be addressed by the developers.
What I'd recommend you do is send an email to support@aira.io and ask our customer care team because what that will do is it will open up a ticket.
Yep.
And then when that gets done, the customer care team can reply back to you and let you know.
Yep. And the more
they
people
can provide you more information.
Yeah, the more people who let us know that this is an issue for them, or that it's a concern, that it's causing issues for them, the quicker we are to get to that in the development roadmap. So. We have a question here from Tim in the chat. When will we be taking people who are not United States citizens to be agents? I'm not sure when we'll be doing that, Tim. I would love to think that we will be in a position at some point to do that. Right now, all of our agents must be U.S. citizens, and primarily that has to do with the cost of hiring non-citizens. It can be rather expensive, and there's a lot of paperwork involved. But Tim is from Canada, and we would love to hire Canadians, believe me, and people from around the world. We would love to, but right now that's not a feasible thing for us business-wise, but we hope to down the road. And hopefully, Joshua, I am correct on that stance.
I think
You are correct. You are correct.
Yeah, I think there's a lot more that goes into that too. I think but it is definitely part of the answer.
Yeah, exactly.
The rest of it just gets really super complicating.
Yes. All righty. Who else do we have?
Well, we don't have any other questions on Q&A. We don't have any other hands raised.
All right. I want to remind everybody, since we don't have any questions right now, if you think of a question later on, you can always send that to support@ira.io. Mention the UK Explorer call and that you have a question, and our great folks at customer care will find out who to send that to, who can answer your question, and we will get that for you. So I will end here by reminding everyone that if you would like to participate in our project to increase IRA awareness in the UK, tell us a little bit about your IRA usage and whatnot. We are doing some Zoom interviews that will then go up on our Facebook page in our Explorer Stories section. And you can get involved in that by sending an email to support@ira.io, letting them know that you are interested in a Zoom interview for the UK. And Ryan and I will get back in touch with you for a good time for you to do that interview. We'll have an agent on via TeamViewer on my end to make sure that everybody's videos look good, so no worries there. And we will tell your story, you know. I'm not going to break into Hamilton's song there because I almost did.
You're going to end up doing that one day.
Please, please do not tempt me, please. Please, I will lose every listener and viewer we have.
It's going to happen one day. I know it.
It will.
It's like the fourth time you've referenced Hamilton this week.
Well,
I'm pretty sure.
my little brain has been doing like Ira Hamilton parodies, and it's not a good thing. Trust me. Alrighty, so it's time for the Magic Braille Calendar. Hold up my Braille Calendar. Yay. All right, so our next call for our friends in the UK will be 22nd. Yes, I was going to say the 15th because that's the third Thursday, but actually, no, it will be the 22nd. And, all righty, there we go. All right, and my phone is babbling away over here. There we go. So it is the 22nd of October. Now, October is Disability Employment Awareness Month. It's also White Cane Safety Day on the 15th here in the U.S. If there are any British holidays that we should be aware of, shoot us a note and let us know, because I will admit to being not cognizant of all of the holidays around the world. And if there is something that you all are celebrating, please let us know. I want to thank my co-pilot, Ryan Bishop.
Thank you so much, everybody. It's always a pleasure coming in here every month and getting to meet with everybody for an hour and to share in your experiences as an explorer. So any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. We're always happy to answer those, and any needs, don't hesitate to reach out as well.
Awesome. And from the agent side of things, Joshua Fluellen. Thanks, Joshua, for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been an absolute pleasure. And Janine, you're going to have me back. I
definitely.
Enjoy being here.
Definitely. You may be our de facto UK person now.
Oh, I would love it. I would love being the de facto UK person.
That would be awesome. And for all of you, don't forget about the offer for London transport. That's good through the end of the year, 20 minutes per hour. And make Joshua's day and have him navigate you through the underground.
Make my day. Yes, please.
Awesome. Well, everyone, stay safe, be careful, and have a wonderful month of September.